Welcome to Astrotarology with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie, and this is your weekly astrology wave and intuitive tarot forecast. In this sacred space, we ride the crest of the cosmic tides to gain the guidance and wisdom of this week's currents. Welcome, creators, to Creators on the Crest, where we rise with the tide and align with the truth. I'm Stephanie, and today we have a very special program for you. I'm going to be going over first a channeled message that I received just today, and then I will continue into a brand new tarot spread, and I will finish it off with going through some of the astrology transits as well as the psychic weather forecast. So do be sure you stay to the end. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of my new subscribers and an equally warm welcome to everyone who is revisiting and keeping the pulse of the astrological transits and learning from the archetypes of the tarot to apply these to your journey, to make your life better, to make your life easier, and to make things flow more smoothly. I invite everyone to grab that cup of tea, to settle in. Please put a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you comment when you feel called, and share this with a good friend from your spiritual tribe. Creators, welcome to this week's channeled message. I'm going to talk a little bit about some upcoming astrology that's taking place on March 3rd, because like the astrology we've been dealing with, this too is very significant. So nothing is slowing down, everything is speeding up as far as the astrology goes, and we will be really looking to extract those moments of peace and relaxation. We're going to have to put some effort into that. We're going to have to take some action toward carving time out for ourselves amongst these very fast-moving energies. However, we might get a little bit of a soft breath during the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is happening on March 3rd at 6:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This particular lunation is going to be one that encourages compassion, and we're probably going to get a little bit of a break from that inner self-critic. We also may be able to feel this quite tremendously in the collective or even in the people and relationships around us. If you've been dealing with someone that is rather difficult, you may end up getting a little bit of a reprieve from their behavior, or there may be moments of compassion that are extended that kind of give you a little bit of a surprise. At the end of the day, you're recognizing, though, that you are not responsible for anyone else's behavior except your own, and that you can take the time in this Virgo energy for this lunar eclipse to get real with yourself about where you might be judging yourself or others too harshly, and where that voice of criticism really might be arising from within you. I have my glasses on today because I'm going to be referencing a book, and I want to be sure I can see and read the words correctly. This is Dane Rudhyar's book, and it's called An Astrological Mandala. So basically, where this book originates from is that in the early 20th century, a gentleman named Mark Edmund Jones and one of his clairvoyant friends formulated what's called the Sabian Symbols. The purpose of this gathering of these two was to assign certain symbols to the degrees of the zodiac that would be relevant to contemporary astrology students. Dane Rudhyar then expanded on the symbols and the symbolic meanings and reinterpreted them to emphasize their character as a cyclic series. What I love about these Sabian symbols and my very new study into them is that they are such a complement to not only the astrology transits, but also to the tarot archetypes. And so I was very moved today to speak about the two symbols. And when we say symbols, These are kind of phrases that are going to give you a picture and that carry meaning. This particular full moon lunar eclipse is happening between 12 and 13 degrees of Virgo. So for our channeled message today, I'm looking at both Virgo 12 degrees and Virgo 13 degrees for the symbols. And we're going to incorporate this also in the tarot reading after I'm done explaining this. So everything flows together in these Astrotarology segments. You can certainly listen to the parts standalone, but they also have a flow to them, and there is connection there, both on the collective and the personal level for you. In the book, there are definitely cycles within cycles and stages and phases. But for the sake of the channeled message and really explaining the two archetypal energies that we have here, I'm going to keep it simple for now. And we're going to go over first the 12 degrees of Virgo Sabian symbol, which is, quote, "After the wedding, the groom snatches the veil away from his bride." Now, this is a bit cheeky, right? Like, whoa, he snatches the veil. But from the feminine perspective, and considering that at the time of this recording, we are well on our way into Pisces season, the feminine energies of both Pisces and Virgo are standing out to me. When I think of Pisces, I think of feminine flow. When I think of Virgo, I think of purity and the Virgin. And these two energies are intersecting. So it's very interesting that we're talking about a wedding day. We're looking at the framework of commitment. We're seeing the husband take an action. But what this is really about is about unveiling the feminine. It's about removing the illusion, the filters, and even the curtains that have been shadowing and hiding the feminine energies. I think it's beautiful that the masculine energy comes around and says, hey, let's see the real you. It is time for the true you to shine. And these are the feminine energies. This is explaining that there is something going on internally that is meant to come out and be seen now. Eclipse energy often highlights this. So whether you're a man or a woman, you could really interpret this as some of the more passive and subtle internal energies are finally coming to the surface and getting their opportunity. For those of us who just went through the Fire Horse Rising Temple, which I will have a link to the on-demand replay in the description below, you ladies will know that we worked with this kind of energy. We begun working with the Queen of Wands as an archetype, and I think she's a lovely archetype because she emerges, she faces forward, and she's very strong in revealing who she really is, in alignment with her passions and her personal power. So for those of you deepening your study in the tarot, the Queen of Wands is an amazing card to get to know a little better. So we have the physical action of the husband pulling away the veil to the feminine and assisting her in stepping forward in her true self. So yes, this is psychological. Yes, this is spiritual. And yes, the husband is a part of this symbol, but with the action of revealing the truth of the feminine, which I think is a very beautiful act. The author also shares these keynotes with each of the Sabian symbols, and this one is the penetrating and unveiling power of the trained mind. So I do want you to kind of hold that aspect in your heart when I say the penetrating and unveiling power of the trained mind. Just taking a moment here to really feel into what does that mean to you? Bring that statement into your heart. One more time. The penetrating and unveiling power of the trained mind. To me, it is feeling like an incredibly present force that is not forceful, but is so present and so potent that it's a difficult energy to ignore. Some of you may be carrying this energy. Some of you may have a stronger connection to this energy right now. Others of you may not quite be connected to this. You may be more connected to the energy of the 13th degree of Virgo and that Sabian symbol. But there's also a little bit of a conversation and a dance going on here. So let me now share the 13th degree of Virgo Sabian symbol. Here we go. Are you ready? Because I giggled when I first read this. A powerful statesman overcomes a state of political hysteria. How do you like that one? A powerful statesman overcomes a state of political hysteria. Wow. Okay. So there's one thing, when you hear that, your mind could go to all sorts of places, all sorts of current events, all sorts of political mumbo jumbo that's out there. And I do like the little play on words that politics sounds an awful lot like parlor tricks. And I say that and I get a little cheeky myself because this message feels a little cheeky today, okay? But the statesman is not, I repeat, the statesman is not someone outside of yourself. We are looking at these Sabian symbols as internal archetypes. All right, so we're not looking at someone behind a microphone who has the ears of a lot of people in a certain country or anything like that, even though that might be what it sounds like on the surface. Instead, I invite everyone to look at the statesman as the husband energy within all of us, okay? So we've had the bride being unveiled and that feminine energy in her true power and potency that is invited to arise and show herself. And now we have the masculine energy turning its attention to collective panic, chaos, and hysteria. But this powerful statesman, your masculine energies, your yang energies, overcomes this state of hysteria, panic, and chaos. This does not mean that his presence is toned down. In fact, with the feminine now unveiled, we have a unique opportunity to bring the masculine presence in alignment with her, and together they stand strong and balanced so as not to get drawn out into these chaotic dynamics. And this is really one of the lessons for creator beings. For the audience that I am speaking to, it is truly one of our lessons not to get drawn out into the effects field of energies that are very chaotic, because you, as the statesman or stateswoman, if you will, for the ease of the video, I'm just going to say statesman. That's the language that's used in the Sabian symbol. But you know what I mean. It's you. Have a recognition of the past misuse, abuse, destabilizing, destructuring energies, decisions that were made collectively that now are playing out in the effects field. So we have awareness. We know this all came from somewhere. I've been saying for a minute now, especially as we took a turn into 2026 and into the astrology that we're facing, that it is so important. Every decision we make has meaning, has depth, has purpose, and it's so important for us to be making aligned decisions. A lot of us are looking at relationships, finances, careers, our pursuits, our art, and we're really redefining and reshaping our relationship to these and the place that these things have in our life, the way they look, the way we dedicate our energy to these things. Now, from one perspective, you could say, well, that's just life. That's how it goes. But there's deeper meaning here, especially for the creator being who is on an evolutionary path. And if you're listening to this message, you are a creator being who is on an evolutionary path. Otherwise, your attention wouldn't be focused on this. So as much as the effects field and the inversions and the narratives that are being controlled in the effects field are happening, your job is not to look at the way the charisma is being spun in certain individuals and archetypes outside of yourself. Your job is to connect with your own inner charisma. Now, I want to throw out a few numbers here that some of you will recognize, because this particular Virgo 13 degrees is the third stage of a 33rd sequence. Some of you are going to note that 3-3 reference, okay? I'm just putting that out there, but you can see how some of the symbology here has been taken and inverted and the narrative controlled to remove the power from you, the statesman, from you, the unveiled bride. Isn't it amazing that that's what this full moon lunar eclipse is going to be showing us in Virgo? So as you connect with that charisma, you're also connecting with leadership. And this particular keynote that I'm going to read reminds me a lot of some of the beautiful essences that I've been able to extract from some of the mainstream things, because they all have elements of true essence woven into them with a whole lot of garbage and detritus stacked on top. Our job is to extract the essence. So as I'm reading this keynote, I am thinking about archetypes like the Christ consciousness or Jesus. I'm thinking of the quote, "We are the ones we have been waiting for," which I believe is part of the Hopi prophecy. The keynote reads, "The focusing of the collective need for order and structural interdependence," not codependence, not independence going off on some island, interdependence, into a personage, the self, you, the statesman, who incarnates to answer this need. A lot of what we see in the effects field is caused by and directed by chaos magic and chaos magicians. As a statesman, as a mage, as the unveiled feminine yourself, it's your job to recognize that you incarnated here to lead by this example. This is not an example that gets shown on the mainstream outlets, that gets talked about. Many times it can be very difficult, let's be honest, because you may be leading by this example and you may be being silenced, whether it be by family members who disagree with you, whether it be by social media. And so this is big here, and I'm leading it back into that 12 degrees of Virgo Sabian symbol with the bride and the unveiling, because it's about the commitment that we make to these energies within ourselves. And imagine what the world could look like if each of us unveiled and stepped into our own personal charisma in this way. Wow, that is a future worth thinking about, feeling into, and creating. So creators, I hope you've enjoyed reviewing these Sabian symbols and the messages that came along with them, which bubbled up into my heart and I lovingly share with you. I invite you, as always, to take them into reflection, to trust your own instincts and your own intuition. That's also coming up in the astrology right now. To mull it over and even ask a question in the comments. Or let me know what stood out to you about these two Sabian symbols. But I wanted to welcome my community into the study of this and give you a little taste test here in our message today. Stay tuned though, because I have a brand new tarot spread that we're going to be going through. We've got some questions of reflection that will factor into each card pull, which I know you'll like because they'll be relatable in a sense to Frequency Friday last week. So if you missed that, be sure to catch it. I did breakout tarot readings by element that were really powerful. So some of you might want to go back and catch that section. The timestamps are on the video. And then after that, we'll go deeper into the astrology and into the psychic weather. Okay, creators, let's get into this brand new tarot spread that I'm going to be doing today called the Sovereign Statesman Tarot Spread. Okay, it's going to be a 5-card tarot spread, and then of course I'll do oracle messages. I've got the Whispers of Aloha, the Moonology, and some other wonderful oracle decks to be using for closing messages. But let's go ahead, if I can manage to keep the cloth on the table here, into our tarot spread. We are just using the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith today. We're going to clear the cards, and we've got 5 questions. I'm going to lay the cards out, just let you get a feel for them, seeing if one stands out to you. It's kind of fun before we know what the questions are to see if one of the 5 cards stands out more than another for you. Kind of helps you do a little intuition practice. We've got the 8 of Cups. We've got the 3 of Cups. Oh my. That Pisces energy came through. That's why I chose this backdrop with the seashells. And the Cups energy is coming through. The 10 of Cups. Oh my goodness. We are feeling it. We are feeling this spread. Oh my. Okay, we've got 2 aces that flew out. I'm going to go with these 2 aces. A Wands and a Pentacles. Wow, okay. Very interesting. Very interesting here. Okay, and we'll be going through question by question, and I'll be talking about it. But just to practice, like kind of using your own intuition here, which of these 5 cards do you gravitate to? Knowing that each one comes along with a reflective question. Maybe there's 1 or 2 even, you know, or you could look at all 5 from left to right. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could prioritize like, oh, like that wand really stands out. That'll be my focus. Or, oh, I love that 3 of Cups, you know. Just go with your intuition. Give yourself a moment there while we do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab a few oracle cards out while you're having a moment with the cards. We're going to use the Daily Crystal Inspiration. I felt it would be helpful to get a crystal today. I'm not going to reveal these cards quite yet, but I'm going to set them out so they're ready. And we'll be able to flow into that. Let's get a Moonology. So taking a look at those tarot cards, what really stands... Oh, I almost flipped that over. Sorry. You didn't see that. You did not see that. I kind of saw the color, but I didn't really see what it was. Okay. This is the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. Love playing with this fun deck. And this card definitely wants to come out. Turned it over correctly this time. And, of course, the Whispers of Aloha, which some of our creator community really got to benefit from the messages in that deck at our last live Q&A. So we'll see what we get today. Okay, let's set those out. You've had a chance to kind of go through these tarot cards and determine which 1 or 2 stands out to you, or order them in the number of importance. 8 of Cups, our very first card. Let me explain to you what the reflection and the question is. This particular one, now we're doing the Sovereign Statesman Spread. That's about us having charisma and leadership, but we're going to address that unveiled feminine, the veil. What illusion is Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because Pisces can be illusionary. What illusion is Mercury retrograde in Pisces stripping away from my perception? And the biggest message that I'm honestly getting with this card is to tell you it's time. It's time, girlfriend. It's time, bro. It's time to get moving on. okay? I don't know if you've been sitting on something. I don't know if you've been procrastinating something. I don't know if you've been obsessing about something and being perfectionistic about something, maybe getting a little too far in those perfectionism energies of Virgo. It is time to move on. The lunar eclipse coming up. You've got to be on the move for this. You've got to be moving away from something that you've been holding on to, stagnation, indecision, overanalyzing, overthinking, perfectionism. You get your wand, okay, your walking stick, and you start taking those steps. Doesn't matter how rocky, doesn't matter how smooth, doesn't matter if you have to take some windy roads. I really get this card is like, it's time to go. It's time to go. If you've been dilly-dallying around and avoiding doing something that you need to do, all right, and maybe feeling a certain way about that and letting your feelings kind of overwhelm you, it's time to move on, okay? That's the illusion. Maybe some of you are in the illusion that you have been doing something, but you're really not on the move the way the universe wants you to be yet. I'm actually starting to burn up and get very warm. I'm going to have to take my jacket off. Whew. Because the universe is being very direct with this card this time for some reason. Some of you may be perceiving something with rose-colored glasses. It is not what you want it to be. It is not what you thought it was. And it is high time to remove that veil and move on. You have to show your true self here. Okay, you have to show your true self. Some of you are turning away from that, trying to hide your face still. It's time for you to be seen. It's time for this to be known. It's time for you to be on the move. All right, that's a pretty powerful illusion. The illusion that maybe you were having momentum, but you really were stagnating. Okay, you could be seeing that in circumstances and people around you as well. People who think they're doing something and they're growing and they're evolving, but they're really not. They're stuck in a habit. They're stuck in a pattern. The universe says, you're done. You're done with that. Move along, move along. Number 2, the 3 of Cups. The true face, okay? So now we lose the illusion. We get on the move. Our face is forward. Queen of Wands sits forward in her throne. What authentic feminine or internal power is being revealed under this lunar eclipse? Beautiful. Oh my goodness. You've got to be on the move. You're making new connections. You're meeting new people. Those of you who gravitated to this card, it's celebrating. It's taking time to acknowledge your celebrations. It's coming together in sisterhood, or for you men in brotherhood and sisterhood, like-minded, like-hearted community, toasting one another for, hey, this has been a heck of a journey. Job well done. Let's raise our cups. Let's get together. Let's be festive. All right? The true face. Let's actually embody joy for a change instead of stress. Let's actually celebrate some happy things together. Our internal power. The feminine wants to show up. She may be feeling a little bit more wild than normal, ladies, if you know what I mean. Feeling like, let's kick up the skirt a bit. Let's have a little dance. Let's jump in some grapes and have some fun, right? Let's squish some grapes. Let's have a good time. 3 of Cups, social time too, being seen, the face is forward. You're going to that group you've been avoiding going to, the new exercise class, the new meetup group, the new art circle, whatever it is. You showing up there just has this beautiful, brilliant, happy, joyful, true, authentic power to it. And I love that. That's beautiful. Card number 3. The hysteria. The The hysteria, what external chaos or sudden disruption, this could be the retrograde, Mars square Uranus, is trying to pull my focus right now. Here we are, putting our true face forward. We're moving and a grooving, putting our true face forward. And this is what we are risking if we give in to the chaos. We are risking a happy, balanced home. The nuclear family energy is coming up here. The attack on the nuclear family is coming up. And believe me, there are a lot of things in that effects field and a lot of things that are being controlled in the narrative that are an attack on the nuclear family. Some of you may feel that in your relationships. It may be time to come full circle and revisit something with your husband or wife, your spouse. There may be something that we need to address with the children in the family. We may need to be leading to guide the younger ones. Even if you don't have children yourself, do you have a younger brother, a younger sister, someone who could use guidance and support? I'm also getting like a big brother, big sister, kind of like mentorship for some of you that might be important. There are other beings and other souls that need you, and they need that steady, the Ten of Cups, steady emotional maturity and solid presence here to counter this hysteria and the external chaos, the panic, all the drama vortices that are spun, okay? And constantly, even if we tune out from it, we still somehow end up encountering the energies, whether it's we go out to the grocery store and just there's some frantic, weird behavior going on, right? Children witnessing that, making sure that as adults, mature adults and emotionally stable and balanced adults, we're providing the stability, that we're talking children through that we're meeting them at their level appropriately and providing solidity through the chaos for them as well, the hysteria. Card number 4. The Ace of Wands. This card is connected to the sovereign self. How can I anchor my energy to remain grounded, even-keeled, and patient through the storm? And the universe is coming in with the ace, with the helping hand, with the wand. All right, and saying, keep hold of this wand. Keep hold of your purpose, your mission, your passion, the torch. We don't have to light it on fire right now. See how it still has green growth on it here? It's new, it's fresh. But the question is, how can I anchor my energy? It's through this new, fresh passion. Maybe it's a new skill that you've picked up, a new art or craft that you've picked up. Anchor your energy through that. Keep hold of that. Let it be new. Sure, this wand is a branch that's come from a tree, and eventually the green wood will dry out, and it will turn into a wood that burns more easily. The torch will be lit, but you don't have to try to light it right now in frustration. Our job is to be anchored. Grab onto that passion, grab onto what you love, and incorporate it into your life. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Your sovereign self craves for you to anchor this energy and remain grounded. Now, this being the Ace of Wands coming out of the clouds from the universe to you, it's not immediately anchored. You have to take this wand, put your bare feet on the ground, pull it down as a source of power, and make a commitment to anchoring that energy. And the commitment to you will not be moving in the effects field, being drawn out by other energies. You're preserving the new creation that you are contributing to. You are creating a new world. You're not going to get pulled onto a timeline of de-evolution. You're creating something new. You're going to ground and commit to this through your sovereign self. No matter what kind of storms, cloudy skies are going on around. Card number 5. The Lunar Eclipse Bridge. The ultimate revelation arriving on the full moon. Coming after this Ace of Wands, and remember, these two flew out together. The sovereign self really does want to ground and anchor so that we can create the new beginning in the reality field with the Ace of Pentacles. This is amazing. We've got hands coming out of the clouds from the universe to us saying, you are the creator of this new cycle, the new beginning. Saturn and Neptune have just stationed at 0 degrees Aries. We've moved into the new cycles as have been discussed on this channel. The lunar eclipse bridge is the revelation. We bring it into the physical world and we start experiencing it, and we're going to see it in the real world on the full moon. Now, guess what else we're going to see on the full moon? Probably a whole lot of chaos. The police scanners go crazy. Who knows what? I mean, we still have a lot of solar activity going on, earthquakes and kind of natural things, but just the behavior of people, what else is going to be revealed, what else is going to break down, all kinds of things are going to go on. But we stay committed. We are building the framework for a new reality, the new earth energies here. We are doing it through charisma. We are doing it through our true face, the unbridled and unveiled joy of the feminine, the charismatic statesman, the masculine energy. And we are now aware, yes, this is what we are affecting the reality field. Some of you are really going to be getting signs that you are affecting the reality field. This could come in the form of some sort of tax return, financial output coming your way, donation, something that you're being gifted in the physical world. A vacation, you win a trip. Somebody might be winning a trip. I know several of you got your sights on Hawaii. Hawaii. Aloha. I love it. Okay. How about some oracle cards to ice this cake today? First of all, I thought it would be really nice. This is a daily deck, daily crystal inspiration, but you can see I have my hematite, my clear quartz crystal. I think this even has like a phantom inclusion in there. It's really cool. I think this is one my grandmother collected in Arkansas. And so I wanted to get a crystal for us today. It just felt right. Feel free to use whatever crystals you resonate with, but the hematite is super grounding. The clear quartz crystal for clarity, both are protecting. Let's see what else we get here. Moonstone, perfect for the full moon. Live your purpose. Ace of Wands. Grab onto that purpose. Stay committed. Live your purpose. Moonstone. Now, this is a kind of a shadowy piece of moonstone with a few little rainbow flecks. Sometimes you can get it a lot more polished. It's a lot more translucent white, kind of opaque-ish. Sometimes you can kind of see through depending on how thick the piece is. But yeah, you might really enjoy pulling out or getting yourself moonstone. I know I have a moonstone pendant that's kind of in like a teardrop shape. That might be something I get out and wear this week. Reminding us, live our purpose. And what is so nice about moonstone, especially for the feminine energies, is we can do that very gently, right? So we can take the masculine energies and honor those, but also have that beautiful feminine glow of the moon reflecting off a crystal. I love it. So beautiful. Okay, this is the card I kind of turned over and almost revealed, I think, a little too early, from the Moonology Oracle deck, which I have pictured right here by Yasmin Boland. Okay. A fiery climax approaches. Now, our full moon coming up in eclipse is in Virgo, but here we have the full moon in Aries. It's kind of nice. We got a feminine call out from the oracle cards, and this to me feels like a call out for the masculine. So if ladies, if you're listening, it could be for your brother, your father, your husband, your son. We've got the Aries leadership and strength coming out. This reminds me of that charisma really burning bright, and not charisma from a place of conceit and arrogance and being seen and having the most, but that wonderful masculine leadership that is so able to move mountains. Okay, so whoever you are out there, it could be the masculine energies in each of us, but I feel like if you're a man watching, this is a really, really great sign for your active energies. Really just let them burst out. Let them come forward. Say what you need to say, gentlemen. Say what you need to say. Or ladies, let your men know. Help be the gentle softness that empowers their voice. Let's look at the magical mermaids and dolphins. What a fun little deck. I know that you're self-evolved. A little shout out to your self-evolved. She loves this deck, and so this one might have special meaning for you. You may want to focus kind of on your own personal question or theme before I flip the card. Anyone out there, focus on it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Consult an expert. More information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. So let's say you were considering maybe something about a health matter. There might be another test that needs to be run. You might need a second opinion, okay? You may need some body work done. You may be looking for a massage therapist or a chiropractor, right? Consult someone. If you're feeling something go on in your body, especially, get to the right expert for you and definitely consult them. If you're looking for spiritual guidance and support, you want to build your spiritual community online, then make sure you're on my mailing list. Check out the link in the description for the on-demand replay for the Fire Horse Rising. Make sure that you get a part of the community because I have a lot of mentorship and community things that I am building, and I would love to have you be a part of that. I'm bringing all my wisdom and all my experience together. Consult an expert. More information is needed. For some of you, remember I was talking about the 1st and the 2nd of March might be really good times to read a book. Perhaps you're going to be reading a book that helps you answer a question of some kind. Let's look at the Whispers of Aloha Oracle now. I just love this deck so much. Our final message today. Oh, that is nice. 32, revel in the wave. Enjoy the exuberance of the experience. Okay, and this is like riding a wave like that looks kind of like a roller coaster where like there's no seatbelt, okay? But this surfer is loving it, touching the water, balancing. Look at the balance that's going on in this card. 32, 3 plus 2 is a 5. That means change. That means tension. Can we revel in the experience? What an exciting time to be alive. Enjoy the exuberance. When you get that rush of energy or joy, just shout it out. Woo! You know, give it a big momentum behind it and let it be heard. Revel, okay? What do they say? Like hang 10, you know, really enjoy it. Really have a good hoot and holler with someone. Howl at the moon, at the full moon, whatever it is. This energy is coming on strong. And remember, at Creators on the Crest, we ride the waves. Sometimes we go through these tunnels and we come out the other side, right? We get back up on top of that wave and we ride it again. And I'm loving the color combination here. I'm loving how this is going and how rooted in the red that the surfer is. Well, let me know, creators, what did you think of the Statesman spread today? How interesting was that? What was unveiled for you? let me know in the comments, but stay tuned because we're going to go deeper into the astrology transits and the psychic weather forecast up next. Hello again, creators, and welcome to the Astrotarology and Psychic Weather Forecast portion. I hope you enjoyed that tarot reading as much as I enjoyed offering it to you. That was super powerful for me personally, and I hope that it hit the chords with you as well. The astrological energies that we are covering today are for the dates of February 24th, 2026 through March 3rd, 2026, which is our full moon lunar eclipse. And of course, we also have the start of the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which I will be talking about. We've been kind of swimming in the pre-shadow up until now. Many of us have been working with the energy of the fire horse. We know that transformation is happening. We know that it's happening quickly. However, with the Pisces season energy and some of the other transits that are happening, we are being asked to apply compassion when necessary to ourselves, in our relationships, to others, especially those who may be caught in the whirlwinds of the inverted narratives that are being shown and pushed as being normal, when in fact they are not, and they are de-evolutionary. We may personally be feeling this week a lot of need to challenge our daily routines and make tweaks and revisions here or there, which I think it's going to be great because you're going to be feeling with the retrograde the draw to go inward, to have that 10 minutes to yourself, to want to be alone for a minute. And the things that you'll be restructuring, reorganizing are going to be for your personal growth. Now, as we start off, if you're catching Astrotarology early on in the week, we have a first quarter moon in Gemini. This is a really curious moon phase and a curious lunation. It's not really so much of a trepidatious, frantic energy that you might think of when you think of entering into a Mercury retrograde, though you may feel something prickly in those instincts begin to bubble up. Mercury, too, is kind of our wily coyote, okay? And so you may be sensing some underlying mischief and mental chaos that has begun to boil up in the collective, especially. Some of you could have reflections of that happening in your own personal life. And then on the 26th or 27th, depending where you are in the world, the Mercury retrograde in Pisces begins. This is a time of introspection, reevaluation, changes in beliefs, okay? Now, this is an opportunity. I know that the creators community that is really dedicated to their own inner work is very good at having that constant challenging of their beliefs, looking into the shadows, doing the healing necessary, at making adjustments. But anytime we have this kind of energy open up, there will be people who are not used to those kind of healthy patterns and habits of looking at the self that are all of a sudden going to become privy to it. So watch out for that in the people around you. Some of you that have children may also notice this with them. All of a sudden, they're going to start having some realizations, some awarenesses. Be prepared for them to be asking you questions. Now, since we're in Pisces, it's kind of nice too for all of you artists and spiritual entrepreneurs, because you're going to be feeling this in the collective energies as art and emotions and spirituality shifts. All of this is happening, okay, because retrogrades aren't the easiest energy. There can be miscommunications. There can be ways we're thinking about things and we just can't quite get there, even though we know that's the way we want to move. There can be frustration there, but all of this is to help each individual and gift each individual with the opportunity to align with their true path. Of course, we want to double check bank accounts. We want to dot all the I's. We want to cross all the T's. Many of you may be getting taxes done. You want to make sure you look everything over. Does everything look okay? Make sure your accountant is being double checked. Yes, that's something that always comes with Mercury retrograde. But with this one being in Pisces and every retrograde this year being in the water signs, I really think this is going to feel more emotional to you, and that some of the things that you really want to connect to emotionally, that you've really been wanting to change, there's a bit of maybe disruption there or a bit of disconnect. Stay the course, make the most of the reflection time during this retrograde, especially sorting through those feelings and emotions. And that'll be one of the best ways to work with the energy and clear it. Now, all of this kind of happens because Mercury is in a fallen or detrimented position when it's in Pisces. Mercury is uncomfortable in Pisces because remember, Pisces, we're removing the veil of illusion. It's where the imagination comes to life and kind of wants to overshadow the linear thinking. And this can bump into each other during the retrograde and the Mercury energies, making things a little more difficult. But I would like to remind all of you creators, we do not stop creating just because of a Mercury retrograde. We keep going, we take what actions we can, and we make the most of the reflective energies as a part of our business and our momentum. Okay, let's get past that Mercury retrograde, right? But what's next? On the 27th, we also have Mars squaring Uranus, sudden, impulsive, disruptive energies, the Tower card. Many of you have seen the Tower card of the tarot, the castle crumbling down, the people falling out, the lightning has struck. Something has the potential to happen in the collective energy field. And we've got the retrograde, so everyone just be aware. I'm wondering, did some of you feel the shift after the solar eclipse? Did you get the feeling like something was coming? Let me know in the comments, because I've been having that itching, kind of creeping feeling since the solar eclipse and new moon in Aquarius. And here we are almost to the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So let me know if you're kind of feeling this as precursor energy. On the 28th, we get a little reprieve as Mercury and Venus are conjunct in Pisces. So Venus has been hanging out in Pisces and just had a trine with Jupiter in Cancer, which was quite nice. Gave everybody kind of a deep breath, a breath of fresh air. But here comes Mercury. You know, Venus is happy in Pisces. Mercury is not happy in Pisces. And so the opportunities arise to reassess any projects or plans that you have. This could relate to relationships. It could relate to shared finances or financial matters, tax season. The invitation and the power that Venus has with Mercury here is for us to kind of look at everything with a gentler perspective, with that unveiled feminine, a powerful force, but power through softness and gentleness. And I'm getting kind of a little bit of a symbol here. I'm seeing like angel hair pasta or like really fine baby's hair, or like kids' hair, just that fine little gentle, so soft. Okay, it's like having that touch with these energies and the way that you talk to yourself, maybe the way that you treat yourself and extend compassion to others as well is going to be important. So we're softening the edges, or at least we're having the opportunity to. Now on the 1st and 2nd of March, there's so much going on that I'm not going to focus on any other little minor transits in that time. These, to me, these 2 days, is Sunday, March 1st and Monday, March 2nd, to me feel like rest days, days to revive, days to rejuvenate. You're already kind of in the introspective energy because of the retrograde, but give yourself a day off, maybe on the 1st or the 2nd if possible. And then on the 3rd, on the day that I'll be coming back to you with Astrotarology episode 8, we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo that encourages more and more compassion. This happens at 6:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the 12 to 13 degree Virgo range, which we went over the Sabian symbols for in the channeled message. We are remembering that we're going to release that part that is the inner critic. Okay, we're turning that channel off for now. We're approaching ourselves and others with more softness and gentleness. And we're connecting in with the power of the unveiled feminine and the charisma of the inner statesman, masculine energy. So let's talk about the energies that are cresting this week. We're going to have the mental chaos. We're going to have the frustration peak this week. If you get frustrated to the point of tears, hopefully you'll catch it before that, but definitely do take a break if something drives you to that level of frustration. Introspection energy is cresting this week with the retrograde, and then the ability to refocus. And the image that I got for this was somebody like looking through binoculars, and you know how there's a coarse and a fine adjustment to get the view just right for your eyes? That's what I was seeing. An opportunity to refocus a lot of our energies. Some of us may be watching out for ornery kids or mischief makers. I was also getting a message to tell everyone, if you have security cameras around your home, just make sure that the batteries are full, that everything is charged, that things are on when you're asleep at night. I was kind of getting the energy of like those package thieves, like the Amazon package thieves, or petty thievery. That's kind of the mischievous kind of energy I was getting. Not that anyone's kids are going to do that, but you know how kids respond to energy. So you could see kids at any age just being a little more mischievous, sneaking candy or something like that when they're not supposed to have it. Classic thing that my sister and I did when we were little. And the energy this week really draws us into our instincts and trusting our gut. So be sure, as always, to trust your own intuition, but also on a more primal level, your instincts. The energy that is calming this week. So some of you may remember from last week, we had the fire energy. We're kind of going from that blazing wildfire of the fire horse year initiation to the controlled fire of the fireplace. It's nice and warm, it's cozy. You can curl up and get really introspective. Those of you who like to read, oh, it's a good time to read, especially the 1st and 2nd of March. Curl up with a good book, really immerse yourself, have that nice warm cup of tea, and just enjoy those calming energies. Rest, gentle stretching, slow walks, and even like to appease the Mercury kind of energy, the mental energies, playing like a game of chess or Risk, something like a strategy game, might actually serve to calm and slow the energies. As you know, I always like to do a final weather forecast, and this week I chose Umbrella. And I'm thinking of that song by Rihanna, Umbrella, Ella, Ella, eh, eh. Okay, I'm thinking of that song. I don't know why. How can you not think of that song? It's a pretty popular one having to do with an umbrella, right? But what I really liked about the umbrella analogy is, okay, there's going to be maybe some chaos reign this week. We've got Mercury retrograde going into Pisces. We have this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo coming up. And umbrella kind of means shield yourself, but it also kind of reminded me of the veil from the 12 degree Virgo Sabian symbol we discussed, of the husband removing the veil from his bride. And so I thought the umbrella is a pretty cool way, when we think of the energetic weather, that you can kind of experience that. You may want to see what that feels like for yourself. Like, how does it feel to have the umbrella around you, shielding and protecting you, and then to take it away and maybe let the rain fall on your face? I'm speaking metaphorically, but if you happen to have a gentle rain where you can go out and actually experience this, it could be rather helpful. Yes, you still want to shield and protect yourself, but it's also holding the umbrella to maybe block out any distractions so you can spend quality time with those introspective energies that come up as a result of the retrograde that have you reassessing everything. So some of you may take social media breaks. Some of you may be turning Netflix off for the week. Some of you may not be tuning in to any kind of news, or you may put your cell phone aside for a little while and go deviceless for a little bit. Wow, what? Can anyone imagine actually doing that, right? There are many ways that you can actually learn and incorporate the psychic weather energy of the umbrella. I'm also seeing, and this may be for someone specifically, I'm also seeing like the wind, like Mary Poppins with the umbrella and the wind kind of picking you up and you're magically flying with your umbrella. That is really interesting there. That could be a shout out to the feminine energies being unveiled and soaring and flying high. What a powerful experience this episode of Astrotarology has been for me. I hope you resonated with it as much as I have. Definitely let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, your final reflections. I absolutely love the community we're building here on YouTube, and you will find so many friendly faces and voices in the comments. Ladies, don't forget that I do have the Fire Horse Rising on-demand temple replay available for you. A link is in the description. It is a very modest price point, very accessible, and it is not too late. We just entered the season of the Fire Horse. So while you may not have had access to the live event, the replay is a full immersion experience that you can access anytime. You'll have lifetime access for a one-time price point. Creators, if today's wave brought you clarity, like and share this with your spiritual circle. Check out all the ways to connect with me in the description. Be sure to set your YouTube notification bell to all for my channel so you don't miss the next creative wave. Creators, say it with me now. Stay tuned, stay true, and keep creating.